light, we're as free as the light, like the rays of the sun, running to every corner. We are up ahead, and the world has got to follow.
So Jesus said something in Matthew chapter 9 verse 37 and 38. He repeated the same thing in Luke chapter 10 and verse 2. Then he said to his disciples, the harvest truly is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore pray the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest. So what I want us to see here is the fact that whenever the purpose of God is in play, God, as far as the purpose of God is concerned, there is always a fight. There's always the kingdom of darkness trying to make sure that this purpose does not come to fruition. So one of the ways that the devil works that out is to ensure that very few people are concerned about this purpose. And that is what Jesus said in Matthew 9:35, Matthew 9:37 all the way to 38, that indeed the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. So I want us to go back from the beginning to understand this purpose of God and see how that the devil has fought this purpose by making sure that very few people are involved in this assignment. And that's what I want to show today. So if you go, for instance, this is our timeline. All right. So this is infinity past, and then this is infinity future. So this is the creation, and then this is Genesis 1 and 2. So here God created the world, created his man Adam, and put everything in place. But here in Genesis 3, man fell. So after the fall of man, there has been an eternal purpose of God to restore man back to this state where God intended that man should live, where he will come in the cool of the evening and have fellowship with man. So in Genesis 3 was the fall of man. So from Genesis 3, we will draw this and say this is the first coming of Jesus. So this is first coming of Jesus. And then in this first coming, we want to look at this and see that because after the fall, the Bible said that God said he will send his son, the seed of the woman, who is going to come to bruise the head of the serpent. So to bring about redemption. So you find here, for instance, if you read Genesis chapter 5, you will see 10 generations. You read Genesis 11, you see another 10 generations. All right, so this is from Adam to Noah, from Noah to Abraham. Now, if you read Matthew chapter 1 and verse 17, you will see that from Abraham all the way to David is 14 generations. So here is 14, here is 10, here is 10. Then from David to the captivity in Babylon is another 14 generations. Then from captivity to Babylon to the first coming of Jesus is another 14 generations. So if you add up this, you're going to have 62 generations over a period of 4,000 years. So this is what happened between the fall of man and the first coming. To come and redeem mankind from the fall, it took 4,000 years and it took 62 generations. Now, if you read Hebrews 11, something very shocking happened in that place. Hebrews 11 is also the same period of time from this Genesis 3 all the way to the first coming of Jesus. So what you find there is this, that in this period of time, only 16 people were mentioned by name according to Hebrews 11, even though other people were implied, but just 16 people were mentioned by name. So this is what you will see. 62 generations, 4,000 years, but only 16 people were actively working to ensure that this happened. So when Jesus said, Pray ye the Lord of the harvest, so that he will send for laborers into his harvest. Jesus knew exactly what he was saying. That, see, as far as the purpose of God is concerned, the devil will fight it, and one of the ways that he will fight it is to make sure that the people are not interested in this assignment. And once people are not interested in the assignment, then it will take a longer period, it will be delayed for a long time, and then a lot of bad things will happen while that delay is still going on. So this is the first coming of Jesus. But let's look at the second coming of Jesus. So this is, for instance, this is the second coming. We're still expecting that to happen. But let's look at how many years we have covered already. So from this and today is 2023. So this is, so let me put this point here. This is 2023. So we are here, and what is still happening is that we don't know how long this is going to take. But already we have covered over 2,000 years. And these over 2,000 years that we have covered several generations that we don't even know exactly how many generations are covered here. So if you don't have that exact figure, but this is what is happening. In 2017, they told us that the church has what it takes to evangelize the world 17 clear times. So the resources, meaning the people, the money, and everything that is needed to evangelize the world, so that we will see the second coming. The church has that resources. 100% of the resources in the church can do that 17 times. So this is what it means. You now have 100% of the resources of the church can give you 17 times world evangelization. So 100% of what we have in the church can do it 17 times. But if you have not done it even one clear time, it means that is why Jesus has not returned. So remember again, here he says in Matthew 24:14, he said, this gospel of the kingdom will be preached to all the nations for a witness, and then the end will come. So because the end has not come, this age has not come to a close, then it means that Matthew 24:14 has not fully been done. So, but we're told in 2017 that we have 100% of what we have can do it 17 times. So let's look at it this way. So, what percentage? So, X percentage can do it one time. Just want to find out what percentage of the 100% that we have can do it one clear time. So by the time you have this, you cross multiply, X will be equal to 100 all over 17. This will be equal to 5.88%. So it means that the church has 100% of resources to evangelize the world 17 times, and then that what it means is that the end will come. We will not have this kind of delay that we have 62 generations, 4,000 years, and only 16 people were involved for the first coming. Now we have what we have. If we can just take 5.88%, or we say approximately 6% of what we have in the church, we can put it in missions, then we can evangelize the world one clear time, and Jesus will return. What it means is this, that for every 100 people you see in church, less than 6 people are involved in mission. What it means is that we're putting less than 6% of the money, less than 6% of the resources, less than 6% of everything. Because what it means here is this: if, for instance, we say, let's stop building new churches, let's stop buying new cars, let's stop everything and just put it in missions, we will do it 17 times. But we're not going to stop that. We will continue to do all of that. But we're saying, just take 6% of everything that comes in here. So why are we doing this thing? So that we will avoid this kind of delay. And Jesus said there are few laborers, and then indeed you will see that even 2023 Jesus has not returned. It means that less than 6% of the resources in the church, including people, are actively involved in this, then it means that what Jesus said, that there are just few laborers, is the fact that there are just few people that are involved in this assignment. Because I mean 100 people and just 6 people. So when Jesus says the laborers are few, he meant what he's saying, that we are not deploying 6 people in this assignment. So again, God has put in my heart to do with this is this. The area that is still remaining is what mission scholars have called the 1040 window. So if you look at this, this is the equator. This is 0 degree latitude. So if you move up 10 degree, it starts from here, we're in Nigeria, so from northern Nigeria, from this point here, it goes all the way to 40 degrees. So this is 30. You go up here. So you see this rectangle here. This rectangle here. This is where you have over 3.1 billion people in the 1040 window, where the work is still remaining. So from northern Nigeria all the way to Niger Republic, Chad, Mali, Algeria, Libya, the whole of South Africa, the Middle East, all right, and then you come to Asia, India, China, Russia, the Kazakhstan, the Pakistan, the Iran, the Afghanistan, all of these places. This is where you find over 3 billion people who have not had the opportunity to hear the gospel. So having said that, remember again, in order to avoid this delay, we should at least put 6% of our resources. So what it means is this: if you have your salary, by the time you take, for instance, you have salary of 100 naira. By the time you take your 100 naira, you take your tithe of 10 naira and you give it to your church. Take another 6 naira, which is meant for mission. Take another 6 naira, and we're not saying this just to send to us because we're missions organizations, no. But here now, you put it aside and it is going to go to missions. Now, if you pray 30 minutes a day, you're going to take 6% of 30 minutes a day. That's less than 2 minutes. You're going to dedicate that time of prayer and you're praying for missions. So whatever you're going to do, so remember again, to make this thing happen, 3 things are involved. Number 1 is that you can pray. Number 2, you can give. Send or give is the same thing. Or you can go yourself. So if you cannot go, you can send, but and also you can pray. So we are saying in your prayer, 6%. You're giving 6%, going 6%. So you're going to say 6% of my time of prayer will be for missions. At the end of every month, my giving 6% is going to be for missions. And then when I take my annual leave, 6% is going to be that I'm going on a short-time missions. So what am I going to do? Prayer. I'm going to look at this 1040 window, and then I'm going to pray and allow God to lead me. There might be one missionary here in Libya that will be needing your support. There will be another missionary here in Egypt, or even in Saudi Arabia, in Iran or in Turkey, in Pakistan or in India, that needs your prayer. So you're going to be praying for that person. The 6% of prayer you're giving, you're going to be doing that. The 6% of your resources, you're going to be doing that. So you will find out, who is this missionary in Algeria that needs my 6% salary every month? That is where I'm going to be sending my 6%. You're already giving your 10% tithe to your church, but 6% you are giving to missions now. And then you are not just giving to anybody who says he's doing mission. You are going to pray about it and allow God to lead you. So he's going to show you people in places in the 1040 window. Because again, remember, only 16 people. So for us to be able, across 62 generations, Some people, sometimes you even find two people in one generation. For instance, there was a mention of Abraham, there was a mention of his wife Sarah. So the two of them, by the time you do that, you already have taken two people, remaining 14 people. So what are we trying to say? That you can be part of these 16 people. You can be part of the few laborers. You can be part of the 6% that Jesus is talking about, so that we can bring the age to a close and we can see the second coming of Jesus, so that all this rebellion against God and against the purpose of God will be put under the feet of Jesus, and then God will be all in all, and then the purpose of God on the earth will be fully consummated. So you see that what Jesus said about few laborers is indeed true, that there are just few laborers and the work is plenteous. And so from what we have seen and the places where we need to take the gospel, I believe that having learned this, you will now take the necessary action. You will take your time in prayer, you will take your time in giving, and you will take your time in going for short trip missions, so that together we will see the Great Commission being fulfilled in our lifetime. And as we do that, God will bless you, He will strengthen you, He will encourage you, He will give you the resources that you need, all the wisdom that you need, so that the purpose of God will indeed be fulfilled. Thank you, and God bless you.
Here and now, we're the light, we're as free as the light, like the rays of the sun, running to every corner. We are up ahead, and the world has got to follow. We are not afraid, 'cause we'll never ever know defeat.